Hey, everyone. Listen, welcome into the building. I'm so glad you're here. Don't forget, guys, first of all, thank you for hanging out with me for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap, the reunion. The reunion is everything, okay? You know, some of these reunions, when they have all of these parts, sometimes they do not give us the best stuff into the last two parts or even the last part. But give it up to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because hands down, last night they brought it. They gave us the fire. They gave us the heat. And I was here for every single minute. Okay, here for every single minute. Yes, guys, please, as you come in the building, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, and I'm going to be watching the comments there because we got stuff to talk about. I loved it. First thing I want to start off with is this, because sometimes they don't always get this darn seating chart correct. Last night, he had it all the way together, all the way together. And remember, guys, this seating chart is not really about who we like should be sitting at the top of the, right next to Andy. It's about the performances. It's about who has the drama. It's about who we kind of need in a hot seat right there, front and center, so we can kind of talk to the people. You understand what I'm saying? So the seating chart, hold on, guys. I'm inviting the friends in the building, and thank you everybody for being here. The seating chart was Kyle was on one side of Andy, then it was Garcelle, then it was Sutton. I loved it. I thought it was a good match over there. Then we had Rinna. We all know why Rinna needs to sit next to Andy. Not because he like her, not because we wanted to, but because she has to. Because Rinna has a lot of stuff to answer to. And if Andy continues on with the performance he gave last night, he's going to make her answer. He's going to hold her feet to the fire when her turn comes. And then next to Rinna was Erika. Then it was Dorit, and then it was Crystal. I thought the seating chart was all the way together. And phony Diana, because Diana said she was sick. And I got to give it to her, Andy. Andy did shade her. I don't know if y'all caught that. He was like, wow, you kind of look good to be sick, okay? She was so sick as a dog. And she claimed, oh, if you would have saw me earlier. Let me tell you guys something. We all handle sickness differently. And a cold on one person will look different than a cold on another person. But what I will say is a cold is a cold. And she supposedly had, something bigger than a cold, everything that people was getting during the pandemic. You don't just see it in your face. You usually see it in a person's eyes. Sometimes you hear it in their voice. And so there's some other things going on. I can't call what she did or didn't have. I didn't see her test, but she looked perfectly fine to me. And makeup is going to do nothing for your eyes, your nasal congestion, you blowing your nose. She was sitting there looking darn good, but she claimed you should have saw her earlier. I say whatever. Diana didn't want to come in the building and face the fire. She always talked about, oh, you want a villain, you want a villain. Here I am. Well, the villain punked out and refused to show up in the building for the reunion. Before I introduce and bring my friends up to chime in on this seating chart, the set for me got an F. They said it was the Beverly Hills Hotel. Didn't like it, didn't love it, wasn't even really feeling it. I thought it got an F. For a reunion setting, it was one of the worst, in my opinion. Let's talk about the clothing overall. I'm not going to give nobody a major kudos for this. Now, I'll back up a little bit. I'm going to give it to Dorit. Dorit, hands down, she always brings us some type of flavor. And if I have to put somebody on the top of the list last night, it's definitely going to be Dorit. Everybody else, it was blah, it was ah. And I will say this. In terms of face, now her outfit was just regular and plain, but in terms of face, it was very subtle, it was very calm, it did look good. I give it to Diana. The face, was beat. And plus, since she zoomed in, it wasn't any close-up. When they did a close-up of all of the ladies, I was like, ugh, it was okay. So before we get into anything, We're going to talk about this seating chart, guys. Juanita, you're in the building. What did you think about the seating chart? What did you think about the setting? And what did you think about their outfits?
Well, I think the seating chart was on point.
Yes, it
I
was.
love the way that was. The outfits, yeah, I was like you. Dorit probably was about the best one when her hair made it look good. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as the settings, that was the worst setting they've ever had. I
I
mean,
thought
they're talking about
so.
Beverly Hills Hotel. That looked like somebody's patio.
Didn't it though? And not even a good one.
Mm-mm.
Not even a good one. Yeah, the outfits were atrocious. They were tragic. They were the worst. Emmanuel, you're in the building. What did you think about the seating chart? The outfits in the set.
Hey, what's up, Diva? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. All right. Yeah. So the seating chart was the same as last year's. They just switched them. Like they flipped the couches, and they just switched Rinna and Erika. But it was like the same. But it made sense though. Um, I like. Okay, I like how Kyle looked. I thought she looked pretty good.
She didn't look bad. She didn't
Yeah.
look bad. If I had to say
Yeah.
that, that's true. She didn't look
Yeah.
bad. So she comes in after Dorit. You are correct.
Yeah, but you know what I was wondering? How come, like in Atlanta, like they always match. Like if it's a year, like they're all wearing
Yep.
white or they're all wearing a certain color. But in Beverly Hills, they always
They
are like
never.
it's like they're invited to different parties. It's like
Yes.
all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Yeah. Yep, you are correct. Stephanie, I'm about to bring you up. You are correct. It's like
What I
but
was
they
wondering,
never match.
how
You are
come,
correct.
like in Atlanta,
Um,
like they always match. Like
Stephanie, you have
if
to
it's a
turn
year,
off
like
your
they're all
other
wearing
stuff.
white or they're all wearing a certain.
Okay, so yes, you are correct, Emmanuel. It's like they get to be a mushmash and wear whatever they want, and I don't like it. It throws me off. I don't. It's no. It's like no flow. It's no flavor. It's
Right.
a little more flavor when they wear and color coordinate.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I was like, it got an F for me. It got an
Yeah.
F. But Candy, you're in the building. What did you think about the seating organization, the setting, and their outfits?
I agree with the seating, but I really feel I wish Garcelle were closer, personally, closer to Andy, because I feel like with the whole her son and the bots and like her going in with Diana, I really think that was a major storyline. Now I think the seating could be changed around when say Kathy Hilton comes on, but I felt like Garcelle should have been closer to Andy. As far as the outfits, I feel like the outfits weren't looking good at all because I feel like for some reason I think it's just an arrogance of Beverly Hills. I feel like they think that because it's expensive, it looks good, and that's not necessarily true. Now I
Right.
do think that Garcelle looked good from a distance, but from close up and when you really looked at the dress, it wasn't looking good at all, like at all. And I
The
think
boots.
that Crystal, her dress was so plain looking. It was just plain,
Right. Every day.
And then Rinna,
Oh
she looked
wow.
like a dragon slash lion. I don't know what was going on with her. She just did not look good at all.
Mm-mm.
And then as far as the setting goes, it didn't look glamorous. It didn't look it looked tacky to me. It looked really, really tacky, basically. So
And Garcelle definitely is the queen. She has risen to the top. She deserves a bonus, but we'll get into that. But we gotta call it what it is. That outfit wasn't it. Not for a reunion. That was an outfit you just go on regular every day somewhere with the high boots and the little dress. I mean, black is always going to make you look good. But I wasn't here as a reunion look. They all got an F. They all
I
got an
liked
F.
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Garcelle looked the best sitting down. Now, when they were standing up, I was like, if this theme is the Beverly Hills Hotel, they must be the call girls at the bar because
They
look
must.
at all their
Yeah.
skirts short.
Mhm.
What were they going
It
for?
wasn't. Yeah. It
Lounge
wasn't
Wizard?
given that.
You know what I'm saying? So when they finally sat down, though, Garcelle looked the best. Now, EJ having to have her prayer cloth her hand is a prayer cloth because if she would have breathed too hard, you would have saw the thing again. We all would have got PK'd. We were all about to get PK'd by Erika. That dress was too short. And then, did you see how freaking, why did Lisa Rinna have so much powder on? She looks so white. And same with Erika.
All of them, when they did close-up, the makeup wasn't looking good.
Horrible.
No, it wasn't looking good at all. And that's all of them. We got to keep
Yeah.
it 100. I'm throwing Garcelle in that. All of them,
Like Garcelle's.
they did not look good when we got the close-up. Let me go. Candy, did I come to you?
Yeah.
Okay, Toria, what did you think about the set, the outfits, and the seating organization?
The seating was good. I like the seating. Lisa Rinna looked like she was standing on the corner of Beverly Hills waiting for John to pick her up.
Exactly.
And Erika too. And well, Dirty Diana, she was the madam outside of the Beverly Hills waiting to collect the money.
Thank you, Toria. Just simply, I agree. Erika looked like she would belong on Tyler's and Tiaras. Yes, the way she was dressed there. Mel, you're in the building. What did you think about this organization chart, the whole set, in their outfits?
I agree with hers about Ms. Garcell because I actually like that she was in black. She looked so. For me, I like the face. I like the top. You know, I don't really have too many sort of negative comments about the women's fashion, just sort of not my thing. But I will say that I like the seating chart. I thought it was appropriate, really, because you know what? For me, if with listen, I'm about to say the woman's name. I'm not going to say the woman's name. If it went down with Garcelle and the person who shall not be named on the season on the show, we saw it, then she would be sitting next to Andy, I think. But because it went,
you saying that she was there? I think so too.
Well,
the org chart would have probably been a little bit different.
I think if they would have caught the filming of all the issues that happened on Instagram, and we would have saw it play out this season, then Garcelle would have been sitting in that seat, and maybe she'll be sitting there next year if it plays out, if more plays out, you know, on the show. Mm-hmm. But this year, you know, she was there to give us a commentary. She was there to do what she did, and you know, I love Garcelle. She didn't have a strong season, but she definitely had a strong debut at the reunion, in my opinion.
Yeah, she did. Lisa, what did you think about the setting, the outfits?
Baby, I am so much like Curse had said. They look like they were standing at the bar trying to get some in for their money. Because I'm gonna tell you something though. I really did. I'm sorry. I really did like Crystal outfit. I liked it was in the front at the bottom. Cause you know, I like a little leg showing a little leg. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the rest of the top I didn't like it. But you know, I like this showing.
The
I like them showing a little leg. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So you know, but the rest of them I just they're saying, and I don't know what Sutton had on. I'm like, girl.
Well, Sutton is always a hit or a miss, right? She's very, very kooky, so to speak.
Oh my God, that's because you're a certain age. That don't mean you can sex it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can sex it up, still be hot. You know what I'm saying? And sex it up a little bit. It's nothing wrong with that. But most of them look like, honey, that like her said, they was gonna be at the bar trying to drag some in, baby. Cause I'm like you, baby, dog. Cause Erika would have crossed those legs, baby. Honey, we would have got another performance of what's going on down there. And then you white girl, we could have did this right here, baby. You had to do this right here because I show, baby, I do not like looking at another one's vagina. I don't like looking at my own vagina, none of the other woman's vagina. So yeah, it was all a bunch of mess last night, but I promise you, I stay for my girls.
Flip,
But I'm gonna tell you something. I did like a Garcell boots. I love me a good high boot. I can't wear them, but I love women who know how to put them on and make their legs look good. You know, I love a good high boot. You know what I'm saying?
I love a high boot, but it wasn't reunion. It wasn't screaming reunion to me.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do love a good.
Nah.
Right. Sutton always looks like she's in Grey Garden. There was a movie called Grey Garden based on a true story. Did you see that, Flip? But Miss True Kelly, you're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation regarding the set? It was the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Seton Org, and their outfits.
So the outfits were not memorable. I really agree with Emmanuel that I think they need a theme. They all need to have the same color, and so they could look in sync, right? So they could look like a group, right? And that would help them to figure out what to wear, because right now they just look disjointed, right? And
I agree.
They wear better clothes on the show than in reunion. I don't understand why. Why is that?
Right.
Also, I do think that the cabin in Aspen should have been a set, because that's what all happened.
That's a good idea.
Yes, you're calling it, because that's where everything went down.
Everything happened, so that should have been the set. But yeah, I think the scene arrangement was good, because I don't think Garcelle could have sat on a couch with Lisa and Erika without like snatching their neck off, right? Like she could not sit on the same couch with them, because she almost did it to Cal. She turned around like she wanted to hit her. So can you imagine her standing by Lisa and Erika? So I think he was safer over there. Everyone was safer with her on that side of the bench. So yeah.
Yes. No, it was. I thought for one, in a long time, he got the Seton Org correct. And you know what? Whether she's telling the truth or not, Diana needed to be remote, because she was talking nonsense. She was gaslighted. And, when she felt like it, she was telling some truths. And then when she didn't feel like it, when she didn't want to own it, so to speak, she was acting like, there was a language barrier, and she goes back to this being a refugee and all that. But we'll get to that, right? So Kyle got a breast reduction. I forgot who, I think Crystal or somebody asked her about that. And see, Lisa Rinna, she's trying to play us. I don't know if you're caught when she said to Andy, I got Lois with me. So I feel like the angels are watching over me. Well, the angels could be on your left, your right, your front, and the back, Rinna, but you about to get this, okay? So be prepared to stand up and hold yourself down, because we coming for you, okay? You're going to get what's coming to you, and you're going to deserve every moment. Now, I thought this was interesting, because I love this piece of the conversation too. Remember when they was I want to say it was in Aspen, and they had that whole toothless, not homeless, homeless, not toothless conversation. Well, Andy said that, I forgot who called it, the best 8 minutes on TV this year. And I thought it was hysterical too. Nobody was really, being disrespectful to the foundation. It's an odd foundation name, but I thought that was really funny too. So Jamie Lee Curtis shows up in the building, and we got to talk about this for 2.2 seconds, because I felt, and I could be dead wrong. Y'all know I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, y'all will get me together. But I felt like she shaded everybody except Kyle. Crystal was about to hug her, and she was like, okay. I don't know if she was giving, like, I don't know what type of hello she was giving. I don't know. She wasn't really giving shoulder. What was she doing? She gave no one a warm and fuzzy except Kyle. Then she sat down, but you know what? Give it up, because she recognized that platform has a lot of reach. She didn't give us a number, but I'm taking it as the number was huge, that, her foundation blew out the water from her one little appearance when she came to Kyle's house. She even rebranded. She said, I rebranded my business. And because, Dorit kept saying chic, she done renamed the chimes on the site. I bet you some of that stuff sold out. And, give it up for Dorit. I think she was being genuine when she was sitting at that table saying everything was chic, because I think she was kind of starstruck too.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say too, with Jamie Lee Curtis, she is old school, but very real, very real. So what do you get with her? Because I watched her and I know her. And what you get with her is she's not fake. She's not going to hug you if she don't know you, basically.
Yeah,
So even if she meets you in these scenes, these sort of things, whatever, she's not going to give you this sort of. I love you. You best.
Lisa, you got to turn off your fan.
Okay, you can hear
okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
So Jamie Lee Curtis.
Go ahead now.
No, I was just going to say, basically, Jamie Lee Curtis is not going to give you all that fake sugar. She's not going to give you all that sort of, fakeness that the Hollywood people do. She don't do that. She's just going to go up there and keep it real. So that's sort of what she gave. She gave that kind of real.
Yeah, because I don't even think she hugged Andy.
No.
Yeah.
She did not. But you know what though? Go ahead, Curves.
Maybe she was scared of the vid.
Well, you know what though? Do a little fist bump or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Do a little this, like, okay, let's tap shoulders. I know Jamie Lee Curtis. I watched her for years. I thought it was a little messy, but it was me. Dorit knew how to kiss some. Well, listen. Dorit did what she had to do. She gave Dorit a special shout out, so I ain't mad at her.
Isn't it sad though? Oh, that Jamie had 10 minutes on Beverly Hills, and she already has more profit in her business, a new rebranded name, and Sheree is on the whole season.
Right.
Hold on.
Yes, I love that she was on that. I'm a big Jamie Lee Curtis fan. You remember she's Hollywood royalty now.
She is
Hollywood royalty. She's second generation Hollywood royalty. So I was there for it, and I liked that she was on the Beverly Hills House.
Her daddy is Tony Curtis.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
The Tony Curtis.
Like she said, she came. She made the assignment. And she did her do on the show. She came and stood for a little while and she left. But I love that. And that was good. I like that she did the shines and stuff. Because I got to figure out about them shines. I like the little shine. Gling, 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 gling. I'm sorry. I like stuff like that. I'm sorry.
Yes, Flip. I forgot. She gave them all some pumpkin, okay, with their faces carved in it. So she did do better than Sheree, because Sheree gifts she took them back once they said cut, once they had the final scene. But no, Jamie Lee Curtis said no, these pumpkins are gonna go in your dressing room. That was her love gift to all of them, and I did appreciate her coming through. I just need her to learn how to do. She could have even did the fake Hollywood greet. Kiss to the side. But she was a little cold. She was a little cold for me.
She was
a little cold, like a little ice queen. Jamie Lee hugged all of them at Kyle's house. She insisted. Thank you, Pooh Bear. You know what she sure did? She said, I'm a hugger. So what happened, Jamie? You phony. You fake. You're a fraud.
She was being a little
Did you see the actual pictures on the pumpkins?
Hold on, guys. Go ahead, speak, because I want to be able to hear everybody. Go ahead, speak. Say that again.
Did you see the pumpkin pictures? Actually, get a good look at them. All of them look like witches on them pumpkins. I backed it up, rewinded it, and paused it, and stopped on each pumpkin because I wanted to see exactly how their faces look. And I'm like, oh my God, she had them made like that. That's what she think of them. They the witches of Eastwick.
But they're really pushing that Halloween promotion.
They shade.
Let's give it to her. That was smart of her, right? To bring those pumpkins and push her movie. I ain't mad at her, because you know what? She saw what that little appearance did for her foundation. So she came through and she was pushing that the Halloween in that movie. I'm not mad at her. But Pooh Bear, that's why you're here. That's why I like y'all, because you reminded us. So she's a fake. I like you, Jamie. I like you, royalty, but you a fraud, because you sure did say at that house that you a hugger, and then you came and shaded everybody. And the only person you hugged at the reunion was Kyle. Unless she was mad about everything that was going down. Wait, hold on one second. Unless she was mad about everything that was currently going down with Kathy Hilton, Kyle, and all of them. Maybe that's why she low-key shaded everybody.
Exactly.
But I didn't like, because I was like, right away, I said, something ain't right. She ain't touching none of them. And Crystal jumped up to hug her, and she did like this right here. But there we go. Yes.
Pooh Bear, I was going to say Pooh Bear, but Pooh Bear, maybe in professional environment, she gives you professional energy, but maybe in the home, she's going to give you love and sugar. So I think that what's happening is maybe when you show up there on that stage with those cameras and that thing, she was respectful of the people. I didn't think she was just like slapping the ladies. She went up there and she said hi and bye. She gave them gifts. What's the deal? What's going on? I think when she was in her friend's house and she met those friends, she gave them respect in somebody's home.
I
And
mean, y'all
plus,
really
it would
think
have
she?
taken a lot
But
of
then you
time.
call her faking and phony. Jim, I don't believe that. I
I don't
believe
believe
she
that
was just
either.
like I believe she was just excited to be there because I can't believe she. This the first she said that's the first time she ever met. What's his name? Andy. I thought she had. I thought I seen on What's Happening Live once before, but she said she never been on What's Happening Live though. She said that's.
But Lisa, Pooh Bear reminded us. She said she a hugger. She
But
said she
you
a
But
know,
she,
hugger.
also, there was no time for that too. Maybe there was a
That's what I'm
time.
talking about. Ain't was no
Maybe
time
there
for
was a
do.
little
You
time
got to
thing.
hug
And then,
everybody. No,
plus
no,
it
no,
was
no.
shade. You're totally right. She, none of them gave her money. That's a very good point, Chris. You're right. She didn't even, did she even hug Dorit? Did she hug Dorit? That's the only
She
one
did
I
she
don't.
not.
sat on that
She
couch.
did. She
She did
didn't.
not. She just hugged Kyle. She just hugged Kyle.
Yeah,
But you know
okay,
what?
then it was a I'm your friend thing.
Yeah. I just had to throw
But
that
I
in
do,
because
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead,
No, no,
Mel.
no, no, no. I was going to say, to change the subject a little bit. I think, but I do hope that Hollywood sort of learn that you don't have to go around selling rubber chicken. Oh, what happened?
Are
Oh,
you
somebody.
still there?
Oh
Yeah, so.
no.
Yeah, okay, Gabor. Listen, last time it's homeless, not toothless. Yes, homeless. Yeah, remember they all chimed it in together. Come on. Homeless,
Homeless,
not
not
Toothless,
too.
toothless.
no
Okay.
toothless.
Yes.
Yes.
So hopefully that foundation got a little increase as a result of being on there too. So somebody's giving feedback. If you're not speaking for the moment, can you just put yourself on mute so we won't get the feedback? So now let's go past Jamie Lee Curtis because I really, I forgive her. I forgive her, but we gotta point out what we see. Okay, we just gotta point out what we see. So let's start out right. Right? They said, oh, she said Jamie Lee Curtis. Now I do respect her for this, right? Because she said it was the unexpected best time ever. Her appearance on the show. I appreciated her saying that, right? She said it was the single best day in history for her charity. And that's why I was
Yeah,
like, girl, give us some numbers. Tell us what's going on. She said that Dorit's genuine enthusiasm changed her company. Oh, shoot. Okay, Dorit. You did a little something because sometimes Dorit don't give much and y'all like to say she don't really have a storyline, but she changed the history of Jamie Lee Curtis company, okay? And she gave them all a gift, like I said, unlike Sheree. And I do like that Jamie Lee Curtis and Kyle have this good, amazing friendship, right? So now we got to get to it was a very hard moment in the reunion, but we got to do these things sometime, right? They talked about with Diana the cyber attack on Garcell's son. It was more to it than we knew. I really got a little more pissed off at Diana because one, I didn't know that they sent Garcell's son the Playboy pictures. Okay. And here's, listen, guys, we got to talk. All right. We're going to talk. Are we all ready to talk? We're going to talk because
Yes.
here's the thing. I'm not saying anything against Garcelle because I know sometimes, Lisa, you got to mute yourself because you're a fan, but you could come off when you talk. Um, I know sometimes, people think I just want to target her. I love Garcelle. I see the moves that she's making and that she has made. She is definitely a class act, but this is for anybody that does Playboy. This is for anybody that is currently on OnlyFans showing all of their good stuff, their backside, their front side, and spreading it wide and dropping it low. If you have children, at some point, you got to say to yourself, maybe one day these kids will run across what I did. Now, do I think it is dead wrong that these people sent her Playboy pictures? And I don't even know if Garcelle was 100% nude in these Playboy pictures. Do I think it is dead wrong that they did that and sent it to her son? Absolutely 100%. But the thing is, if they never sent it to him, it's still going to be a possibility that he would have came across these pictures. But y'all going to talk to me and we'll talk, okay? Let me finish giving what else happened in this scene, and then we're going to go around and talk, okay? They also wrote a vicious, nasty, vile thing, and they said that if Your father wasn't white. Then something about we would have our knee on your neck also. Horrific, right? But then Diana, this is where I wanted to jump through the TV and punch her because she want to play dumb and stupid. When they sent this stuff to Jax, he just reposted it and said, y'all have went too far, right? But in the post, whoever wrote it, the bots or whoever did what, in there, they put that you better leave Diana, your mother better leave Diana alone, or we coming for y'all, right? Diana felt like Garcell's son, before he reposted that, he should have took her name out of it. No, whoever hired those bots and whatever those bots did, they should have never put your name in it. And like Garcell said, my son is supposed to think about somebody else when he's trying to tell people to get up off of his back. And then me, I'm supposed to go scrub it to save y'all when y'all didn't try to save my son. And then who asked you, Kyle? Nobody was talking to you. And then you jumped in this entire situation, inserted yourself. And that's why Garcell turned to you, ripped you a new one, and then you couldn't open your mouth after that. Now, listen, Erika's not my fave, right? But every now and then she has some redeeming quality that shows up. And she's the only one that opened her mouth and said to Garcell, you don't have to save me. The rest of them chicks were sitting there. They might have nodded their head or something, but Erika opened her mouth and used her words, okay? So I think I got oh, no, let me add this and then I'll go around because I want to be able to hear everybody, okay? And I'll call your name and then you get to say your piece. But when Garcell told us that troll Diana was threatening her, had the nerve to be sending her threats saying that if anybody comes for my family, I'm coming for you and yours. Yo, that trick is gangster. She got to go. She's messy. And you know what I loved about Garcell? Garcell at one point, I ain't got nothing else to say to her. I'm done.
Exactly.
Okay? Pay her dust because she don't get it. And she's sitting here trying to play off like it's a language barrier. Every time it's time for you to get in trouble, it's a language barrier. But other than that, you understand English perfectly well. Anyway, I'll stop there. Emmanuel, what do you have to say about this whole situation? Garcell, the bots, and Diana.
Okay. Well, I remember when we first heard that Diana wasn't going to be on there, I knew why she had done it, because the only thing she was sick of was I'm too scared 19, because she knew what was going to go down. When they showed Diana on the screen, I saw Garcell's face. As soon as she popped up, I was like, I already know this is not going to go good. But we found out more things that we didn't know. Like that text that she sent her was disgusting. But let me tell you something. I truly believe that if that had happened to one of the white women's kids, this would have played out very differently. They wouldn't have kept it on going the way that they had, the way that they did. But I couldn't believe Kyle, who tried to not defend, but like, well, what she's trying to say, which is why I'm glad Garcelle.
She was trying to defend her. She was trying to defend her.
Yeah, she was. And she was like, how? I cannot believe that you think that it was horrible. And then Diana, she can't defend herself. So what does she do? She tries to gaslight everyone, talking about her brother. And we get it, okay? That's something that must have been really hard. We understand, but that has nothing to do with this. All right. And I'm also glad that Andy brought up the rumors, and he brought up about the Instagram account that she went after about the Black content creator.
Yes.
Even though Crystal also tried to defend her.
Yeah.
Did you see that? So it's like I said earlier, I was like, so she had a language barrier, but the message that she sent to Garcelle, it didn't seem to have a language barrier.
No, it was very clear.
Pretty clear. Yeah.
It was pretty clear. It was pretty clear. Yes, it was. And the way she danced around the Philly diva comment was ridiculous. I thought it was a black you so full of crap. You need to stop. Just like Diana said, murder is murder. And you know, there's different type of threats according to her. Well, no, baby girl. You knew exactly what you were saying to that content creator. You wasn't confused. You said what you said and you meant what you said. Toria, what did you think about this scene?
I don't know how Garcelle kept her composure. I really don't. And I believe that Rinna has something to do with this too, not just Dirty Diana. I believe Rinna is in with this with every fiber in my body. I believe Rinna has something to do with it. Because you just see her just sitting there looking. I was watching her ugly face. And, oh, something was funny. Did you hear Andy ask Diana about licking her lip?
Yeah, she said it was a nervous tick.
Get out of here. And Diva, that lady can speak good damn English. She was in London for many years. She's back and forth here before she ended up living here. Even Freddie says she speaks good English because they speak English in London. She is full of it.
We don't need anybody to tell us, because every time she needed to communicate to someone during the season about something they was doing, especially Sutton, she was direct, she was clear, we understood exactly what she was saying. So you're not going to sit there and gaslight me. I got it. Go ahead.
And she's gone. She's gone because they said she quit. I don't believe she quit. I believe she was fired.
All right. So thank you. Wait, ST, this whole season has showed how certain people operate in a covert manner with racism. Those white women don't care about Black lives. They laughed, protected each other, and made excuses about Jax. I believe they did. Mel, it's on you now. What do you want to say about this scene?
Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a lot to say. First off, I want to say for me personally, it was a little weird to watch this reunion, because when it came to that part when they said a cease and desist and all those things, I'm like, oh damn, so the way that she acts about wanting to censor things and shut people up and all that kind of stuff, it really hit home for me, obviously. So it just was a very weird moment. But I want to start with Garcelle. I think that we as human beings can make decisions in our lives, for our own, for whatever reason. But I think that a troll, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to wait a little bit till the sound go down. I'm going to say this. But I think that a troll exposing a young adult, a young individual to the images of their mother is totally inappropriate. I think that there could be a time and a place when he's older to have those conversations about what adults do with their own free time, with their own free thing. But I don't think that him being at the age he was the time for it. I think that eventually he probably would have learned what his mom was, what she did or whatever. It's not a dirty thing. It's just something that she did. And maybe one day she would have talked about it when he was a total adult.
But how old is Jax?
I think he's 14.
He was 14 when he was exposed.
But let me just throw this into the conversation, Mel. The thing is, now with the internet, maybe before she could have waited, right? But now with the internet and everybody having access to everything at their fingertips the minute they give birth, darn near, I really think now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think now on these baby registries they put cell phones, they put tablets, you get in these babies. These babies they know how to work a tablet by the time they 2. You see little babies in the stroller swiping up and swiping left and knowing how to work, these tablets. So all I'm saying is we got to be able to speak a thing to thing. And I love Garcelle, but the truth of the matter is, if you have something out there like that, where there's a possibility that your kid could come across it, he is of the age where he could have been told, that this is this is out there. And maybe he already knew, but he just never saw the pictures.
Right,
But
of course.
someone sent the pictures to him. Just like, let me just finish and throw this out there. Just like, unfortunately, Kim Kardashian, at some point, and probably younger than she really wants to, she just needs to tell these kids, mommy did a sex tape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is you
And just
so the thing is too, like me, if I had a kid and let's just say I went to jail, let's say I was selling drugs or maybe I was selling my body on a corner, it's embarrassing and as hurtful as it may be, I would rather be the one to tell my kid than to have someone else tell my kid. So at some point, and you know, it's hard, it's not an easy thing to do. But at some point, I would sit my kid down and say, you know what? Because you're about to go to school and everybody's going to have cell phones at this point or whatever. I don't want to shield you. I don't want to hide it from you. This is what I did in my past. I'm not embarrassed about it, but it is what it is. But at least you will be fully armed. If someone tries to come to you and show you, it's not going to be a shocker to you. You're going to already know what your mother did. But go ahead, Mel.
Okay, so what I would say too is that for me, I think that what happens in a family is nobody's business but the family. And I think that, you know, maybe Garcelle was going to tell him the day before he got that shocking email. We don't know. I think that the simple fact is a troll came into her family and tried to disrupt things with information that was not their business. And we don't know if she did tell him. We don't know if she was going to tell him. But I think that just what you said is absolutely correct. But whatever was going to happen in her family is their business. She's not responsible for those terrible, horrific people. They were terrible. That's a whole different issue. That whatever she did before she got the kids is whatever that's going to happen in that family is going to happen. But I think that those trolls came in there and they crossed the line, in my opinion. I want to say one thing too about the scene. I think that I think that when he posted that tweet, I think that for me personally, I would never censor something like that. I would show the public, because you know when people harassing you based on race or gender or whatever, you're going to show.
Hold on one second, Mel. Hold on one second. Somebody has a lot of background noise.
Yeah, I know, it's keep happening with
if you just can mute yourself if you're not speaking and then unmute when I come to you. And Mel, I'm gonna let you finish and then before I go to the next person, but I want to add this to the conversation too. The other thing is, Mel, when you sign up to do a reality show, then your business becomes public business and everybody business. And again, you need to put it out there on the platform to your kids because they're going to be collateral damage just as a result of what you're doing as your job. But go ahead, continue.
No, I agree with you. I think that for me, I don't see any fault with Garcelle. I think that her timetable is what I'm talking about. Her timetable, when she tells her family, her children, what she's done, it's her business. And I don't care if you're on a show, if somebody attacks you or your family in some way with this trash, trying to hurt people and do inappropriate things, that should never scare you into how you raise your children and how you run your home. You do what you want to do on your timetable. Don't ever be threatened by somebody coming to expose you, because that's them being evil, not you. Now, you may have had a plan. I'm sure she has for her family. She has a plan for those children, what she want to tell them, how she want to raise them. And somebody came in there to try to do something that was foul. And it could be somebody on that cast. But yeah, I think that, Diana and that conversation that she had with Garcelle about, and she didn't back down, that she wanted her son to kind of censor that message. Nobody's saying to Diana at that moment, I'm not saying it. I'm not dumb enough to say that, but nobody's saying that she was the one that sent the message. But I think it was icky that she owned that she wanted that young man to censor the message. And I think that anybody who's gotten harassed in school, anywhere, you don't play with those messages. You show the public exactly how it looks. You don't modify it, because then that can go down a rabbit hole. Did you create the message? Did you do something? No, you show what they sent you. And nobody was something thinking about that lady. They wanted, at the time, they just wanted to show what the kind of thing was happening. So I thought that was kind of disgusting, in my opinion, that she would try to advise a cast member how to raise, again, her family. And I think that probably was one of the things I felt Garcelle probably was really tied up, because her children was, in a way, they were under attack this season, and it was pretty next level. And so I'm just really proud of her that she didn't go nuclear, and I'm happy that she did turn around on Cal, because actually Cal had a very bad habit this year of getting in people's business and telling Christu and telling Sutton what to do. And I think in that moment, Garcelle, so not me. You're not going to do that with me. I'm gonna let you know what time it is, especially when it comes to my children.
I agree. Let me move on to Lisa. Lisa, thank you, Mel. Lisa, what did you think about that scene? And Sally, thank you for being a member.
Let me say this
You
right
gotta
here.
cut off your fan.
I cut my fan off. I don't. I
Oh, it's a
think
lot of, it's some type of noise.
I think it's the my laptop. Let me hear this.
Okay, so maybe go out and come back in. Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
hold
wait,
on.
it sounds better now. Go ahead, stay. Can you
Huh?
hear me?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and say what I got to say right fast, and then I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
My thing of this, I did like the girl said this is dead wrong with somebody send her son this and stuff. Let me get that off. It was dead wrong to target her child. Okay, you don't talk another parent's child. And what I'm hearing from the show early up on the show, Andy said, y'all need to cut it out. Okay, it's just a show. Stop with all the threats. He said that. So we don't know who threatened who, him, but and I can definitely understand. This is one thing I can stand with Diane about. Diane said, well, you had my name in there. And I'm like, well, no, Diane. He just posted what somebody had sent him. And to send that threat to Garcelle, and I really thought about it last and I really looked at it when I said it on Mill's show. And I would have thought, and I went back and looked at the scene. I thought about it, I said, well, Garcelle got a point. I ain't got time to protect all of y'all. And I got to protect my child first. That's not my number one choice. Is to protect my child. Now let me say like this, and I don't believe that Anna was behind it, but I believe somebody's doing it because I heard Garcelle said that she had an investigator. The investigator didn't tell Garcelle that Diana was doing it. She said, I believe she's the one. Garcelle said herself, I believe she's the one doing it. I hope she's not the one doing it because that is a child, Diana. And if you are doing it, they ought to charge you with child endangerment and you ought to go to jail for a felony. Now that is a big accusation. That means she messing with a child. That means you messing with a minor. I said this on two other broadcasts, and I'm saying it on your channel. I mean that is a big accusation because you messing with a child. Somebody told me last night they don't think that she can be charged as child endangerment, sending text message to a child. But I thought you could, because it's still a minor. You know what I'm saying, Diva? You hear me?
Yeah, Garcelle is investigating in it, so is Diana. So hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
Hold
yes.
on, Lisa. Let me jump to Curves real quick. Curves, what do you want to add to this conversation?
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, I feel you on what you say. So, I just a shout out to Garcelle overall because through this first episode, that's why I gave her a crown, and because I've been in her court the entire season, she let me borrow one. All right, but she was eating them last night. I was here for it. She I did not like how Andy segued her situation with Jax into Dorit's package. And it was like that gloss over he did. And then there was like a half hour on the freaking alleged robbery. And he was like, so you put your phone where, why? Like they let you do that these days, huh? You know what I mean? Like they let you put the freaking phone there these days. And
Yeah, we're
then,
going to get to her robbery, but yeah,
but for him to like gloss over all that and then come to Diana, I feel like he could have done all that at once and got it all the way. But also with the Playboy pictures, you're right. She put herself in that situation. So I don't think I think she was hurt that it was used as a
yeah,
weapon.
yeah,
It was weaponized. So maybe she had already told him, but to still you have it used as a weapon against my child, like you think this is gonna hurt him. Because who knows? Maybe she had already told him
right,
because it's Google. You know what I
right,
mean? It was bound to happen. They're not stupid.
right.
Obviously have iPhones or whatever, right? So hopefully she was mad at it being a weapon, right? As we know. But I feel like for Diana to be able to sit there and say with that smirk, everything's like, so she thought that was Black creator comment was about the dark web, but then you're targeting these Black kids with, racist, semi-racist text, and the targeting of it all is racist in itself because you're not targeting Erika's kids, you're not targeting Lisa's kids, you're not targeting Portia's kids. As a matter of fact, earlier in the season, they all were like, when Portia was getting attacked for something. Remember, Portia was getting attacked earlier in the season?
Yeah, because her mama.
Yes. And that's why Lisa Rinna really put out the statement about the kids again. And when Andy turned to her like she's a freaking savior, like, oh, well, Lisa, you responded about it. No, you were really responding about it because you swooped in again, Kyle's kids in that. You know what I mean? Right. They can never leave it just Garcelle. They never comfort her when she's in a emotion. When any of them begin to cry, they pass a tissue, they lean forward, they something. Like she did get one hand from Kyle. I was surprised Sutton didn't reach out when she was like kind of going through it, but maybe that was a Southern in her. But I just felt like overall, when she finally exploded and literally was like, really, Kyle? Even that wasn't as loud as she could have yelled it. You know what I mean? When she was like, really, Kyle? At 2, again, Kyle? I have to try to look out for you guys? I have to do that when Andy and the network just already looked out for you. For a fact she had already went to them with this because they had it for the package. They had it for the edits, for the playback, for us to be able to see it. So they knew. And for him to only verbally say he didn't condone when Erika, Lisa, and Kyle were getting threatened, and he was zero. He didn't say anything.
Well, you know what? It was not just a gang up on Garcelle. They didn't do Chris. They did Crystal dirty last night too. Lies or no lies, they did her dirty. But hold on one second. Allie, thank you for the super chat. I think Garcelle's son knew of her Playboy pics. I can probably agree with that. They just won't look them up. Some way, I don't think Pam Anderson's sons are looking up her tape, right? I mean, I don't think people are necessarily looking up the tape. I just think that your kids need to be aware when you're a public figure, especially. Juanita said, I didn't like how Dirty Diana was responding. I didn't know that she threatened Garcelle. That was a whole new. That was a whole new thing added. I love the way that Garcelle handled herself. Hands down, absolutely, she did handle herself very well. One more, give me a second. Missy Green, thank you for the super chat. Team Garcelle. Now Diana has a lot of people with power in her pockets. If she did purchase the box, I hope the PI is not scared to inform Garcelle. That's the thing, right? So it is funny, Diana's having she's having an investigation, but if you are the head of the investigation, I mean, the investigation is going to be botched to begin with. And I hope that Garcelle, and I'm not trying to be shady, guys, I hope that Garcelle has enough money to get a true investigation where the investigator can find, this information. And like you said, bring it out once they find out who the true people are. Curve, let me move on for 1 second because I got a lot of people here. Miss True Kelly, what did you think about this scene with Garcelle and Diana?
Yeah, so for me, it was the body languages of everyone on the set, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to be on set with Garcelle to hold her hand, stand beside her, and support her because I could see in her face like she had almost tears in her eyes. Her eyes were glistening. She was so upset and emotional in that moment. And then how like Rinna and Erika, no one could really look in Garcelle's face, like in her eyes, to like look at her. So they just all guilty, right? And then when Diana said, "Oh, I'm gonna have an investigation too," Erika and Lisa looked at her like, "How you gonna investigate us?" Like, what? They looked at her like crazy. And then Garcelle, I have an investigator too. So I hope she gets Kathy's investigator, so we make sure that she has the proper PI working on that case. But I got really upset when Diana brought up the murder. She says, "You know what murder is? Do you know what murder is?" I'm thinking to myself, that comment to Jackson's son was all about murdering a black boy. And if
Come
I was
on, knee on your neck, knee
right,
on your neck. That guy died.
yeah. So if I was Garcelle, I felt like in that moment I would have started rattling off names of black men and boys who were murdered. Like, I know about murder, and just rattle off all the names. Like, how can you just say that? You know what I'm saying? How can you say that when my son directly got this message? You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. And then I do agree with Garcelle when she's like, you really thought that I was thinking about all of y'all when my son was being attacked, that I was gonna say, oh, let me just remove Diana's name from this. Because one, why would the bot say anything about Diana if they're coming for Jax or for any kind of reason? Like, why pick out her name? Why not say Lisa?
Because they're coming after him before you on your behalf.
Yeah,
so that's why you investigating it is such a joke. You're investigating it so you can clean up your name from being any part of it, allegedly, in my opinion. Okay, Juanita, maybe Kathy will help Garcelle with her investigation. And
so.
Kathy is so stinking pissed, she probably will, and I hope she does.
Yes.
Miss True Kelly, hold on for 1 second, because Good Boy's in the building. Good Boy, I haven't seen you forever. Welcome to the building. How are you?
I'm good. I've been busy. But I said since the ring, I had to come over here and mess with my girl Diva.
Yes. What do you think about this whole scene with Garcelle and Diana?
I agree with you, Diva. We often see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have the pictures to put them out there if Garcelle wouldn't have been out there bucket naked with her t-shirt and her panties on. Okay. She was already a mother when she was already a mother to Oliver when it ain't no love for Oliver. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was already a mother when she did the Playboy photos in the first place. Okay. So what I see with Garcelle is she don't like to take accountability. See, everybody keep forgetting most of them bots comments at first was about Oliver and his drugs.
Yes, they were.
And Garcelle even said that was the last message that they received was the one about the neck. Right.
Yep.
But Garcelle was crying all night, but wouldn't nobody known that Oliver was on drugs? Because she ain't really known like that. So nobody would have known that Oliver was on drugs if she wouldn't have got on this show trying to relate to them people like that.
Right.
She didn't have to come out here and tell her business.
Why didn't she bring up some of the comments that was said about Oliver?
Because she the one who put it out there. Nobody would have known that he was on drugs if she wouldn't have did it. To relate to them. They wouldn't have got on here and said that their child was on drugs. But I think it was so, Diana, for the nerve of Diana to think that somebody gonna pull her name out of the message. And Erika Jane's name was in them messages too. Everybody. Oh, yes, they were saying, how dare your mom is a hypocrite for coming after Erika Jane about her drinking problem when she got a crackhead son. Oh, that's what the box was saying. Oh, yes.
Right. That's right. They sure did.
Oh, yes.
They sure did. Yes. They sure did. I forgot about that. They sure did. Did you get to eat, Gabor?
I'm eating now.
Yeah, they sure did. Listen. The thing is, I mean, you know what? Like I said, Garcelle handled herself extremely well. There's a lot of passive aggressive stuff going on between those ladies. And like I said, I had a new respect for Garcelle when I found out that Diana was freaking threatening her and then try to act like it wasn't a big deal and that she wasn't. And like she kept telling Diana, just leave me alone. Why are you obsessed with me?
Right. See, Garcelle is learning from being with them how to play Karen. Because immediately when Garcelle said that the girl was sending her a threat, I thought that it was like a physical threat. Because we talking about a knee on somebody's neck. You know what I'm saying? And Garcelle said she's sending threats. But legally, and she was trying to, a threat is a threat. A threat is a threat. You know what I'm saying? But Diana want to keep on getting in front of it. And it was that no. But I was glad that how Garcelle got it called. Because Kyle always trying to help her. If the Bosnian girl can't speak English, then first of all, I don't think that she should have been at the reunion unless she had a positive test. If you can't be here in person, you don't need no camera time. You know what I'm saying? And Andy keep on, if you ain't getting no camera time if you ain't at the reunion, period. But you know what though? He had to, it was a good thing her coming on so she could be addressed so we could finally further see the hypocrite
that she truly is. She goes in and out of understanding the language, the culture, the this and that. But you know, she knew how to tell Sutton, you want a new villain, here I am. But now the villain punked out. You such a villain, but you punked out because you wouldn't show up to that reunion. She looked mighty good. Mighty
but most
good.
importantly, Diva, she knew. But most importantly, Diva, she knew how to sell that stuff. She knew how to sell that thing. But I guess that's universal. I guess that's anywhere because they say that's gonna sell when cotton don't.
Honey
But I don't know because you know she was even trying to tell that girl, her Damon Dash daughter, look, he supposed to be doing this and this and this and this and that with her own son. You know what I'm saying? So you know Diana gonna get to the money.
She gonna get to the money. So Sebastian, what did you think about that scene and your girl Garcelle and Diana?
First of all, I love Garcelle from the jump. Okay, from the jump, I love Garcelle. I've always been vouching and defending my fellow Caribbean Garcelle from ever since she made her premiere onto this show. While everyone else was saying stuff, oh, she's too quiet, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that, I was always defending Garcelle. Always, and will always defend Garcelle.
So listen, Garcelle handled herself well at that reunion. She did. Go ahead.
I want to address the Playboy thing. Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter if she did or did not tell her son. You do not see those pics online unless you type her name and Playboy. You don't see those pics, even if you type Garcelle Beauvais. You won't see those pics. Those pics won't show up as the first thing, or maybe not even the last thing, unless you type them. And if so, if she did tell her son or not, it does not matter to the public. It does not matter to the public. Garcelle has done a lot of scenes where she has done some stuff that I hope her kids probably shouldn't watch, especially in Power, when she was in Power for one episode.
You know what? I don't want anybody. Hold on, Sebastian. I'll let you continue. I don't want anybody to misunderstand me. So I don't think there's any problem with what she did. I do believe they used the pictures as a weapon. Garcelle said it herself. They was trying to get her off the show. And so they knew the best way to really get to her was to come for her kids. You know, anytime you come for somebody's kids, you're going to hit their sore spot. That's when the game changes, right? So of course she's going to rethink everything that she did, and you know, because they're coming for her kids. But what I'm saying is that, right, if I tell my own secrets, people can't use it as a weapon against me because it's not going to have as much power, right? So, and also all I'm saying is, once you sign up to be a public figure, everything is good. Everything is going to come out. Someone's going to use it against you. You will always have an enemy. That's what you got to understand. I worked on a campaign once, right? I was a volunteer, and the campaign leader, I forgot exactly what their title name was, told the guy that was running for council, whatever, every dirty little secret, even if you don't think it's a dirty little secret, you got to tell me what it is so that I can help you. And so that everyone in this room, this was back in the day before social media was even as big as it is now, right? Where we did everything in a little room. They would rent out a little space and people would be in there, and you would walk the streets pinning up the little campaign flyers and all of that. I never forget that man said, I'm here for you, but I cannot be in the street and someone are in front of the news and they tell me something I don't already know about you. Can't have no mistress popping up. Can't have no secret baby popping up. So you can't, once you sign up to be a public figure, that's the thing you got to understand. You're a public figure. So everybody in your surroundings, nobody should be able to come up to them and tell them something that you didn't already tell them yourself first. So it's not about being ashamed or anything like that. It's about removing the power that someone else can have against me. You understand? So my kids, I would have said, my kid already saw the picture. but I still think it was dead wrong that somebody sent them the pictures. You understand? So that's all I'm saying. Miss D Green, thank you for the super chat. Now, I was a wild child before I became Miss. But back in my day, when a person would ask me to get on camera, I would say no, because I didn't know what the future held for me. You give power away. You do. See, that's the other thing with all of these kids now in this social media. I even tell my son, watch what you put online. It will come back to haunt you. You think you put it up there for 2 seconds and took it down. Somebody already snapped a shot of it. It can mess up what college you want to go to. It can mess up your whole future. Don't play games on this social media, because it can come back to bite you. You see some of these contestants, they want to be a contestant on this dating game, that dating game, so forth and so on. Then they get on the show and they want to pull up stuff. And I don't think it's right? But they want to pull up stuff that they did in college or that they did in high school and use it against them. Are you the same person you was 10, 15 years ago? No, you was not. But what happens is, because they have this freaking picture, you got to explain yourself. You got to beg and say, that's who I was back then. Now, I'm not that person now. I was playing games. It's all a joke to you. But once you put it out there, you can never take it back. I have family members to this day, they have no parts of social media. They don't have Facebook, they don't have Instagram, they don't have Twitter, because they private, okay? They're not doing it. But me, I do. But a lot of people in my family, they do not. So all I'm saying is that, just like you would tell your child right now, watch what you put out there, because it's always going to live out there. Unless you got Hilton or Diana money to scrub the internet, it's going to be out there. So when if tomorrow I sign up to be on a reality TV show, I got to know that it's going to impact everyone in my household. My kid, my husband, my this, my dad, my whoever. That's why Jen Shaw from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you're crazy. You wanted to come up there flaunting like you had all this money. Eventually, the truth was going to surface. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go far off. Sebastian, finish your comment so we can go to the next scene.
Okay. I personally think that, so what if she did or did not tell her son? The thing is, someone cannot just violate someone like that and just show them their mother bare. Like, that is just completely disrespectful. That is very much disrespectful. But I kind of see where you're coming in, where you're saying how, like, yes, it's your responsibility to make sure that your kids are aware of what you've done and how you portrayed yourself. Another thing, I want to address the comment about that Gabor said about Oliver and the substance abuse issues. I think it's good that she's talking about her son and how he's overcome those issues. I think it's very good, because if we want to talk about substance issues, we should talk about all these kids. We should talk about Delilah. We should have Lisa Rinna talking about her kids too. We should have that happen. We need to have that happen. You need to talk. When you're on reality TV, you're supposed to be the most realist you can be. And the reality is, Garcelle brought out all her drama from the jump.
Sebastian,
she brought her drama. She brought out her drama.
Sebastian, I love you, Sebastian. But again, like the rest of them, she brought out the drama that she wanted to bring out.
No, she brought out all her drama.
The only reason why, let me tell you the only reason why I'm telling you that. Again, I'm gonna go back to the pictures. I would have said that, yeah, they sent him those pictures, and thank God he already seen them, because I showed them to him. But I still think that it's so messed up that someone would go that low and do it. So she was a little selective on what she wanted to bring up and not bring up, and maybe she felt a little more comfortable discussing Oliver's situation because he is an adult.
But
I don't know.
Now, Sebastian, can I say one thing? So this is a little soap opera. I remember on General Hospital. I'm gonna go to a soap opera. I used to love this. Laura is the big thing. Luke and Laura, they had a relationship, but he violated her. Years later, the son found out about it. It was in a very dramatic way. And what I'm saying is, and now I'm going to go to the deep level. What if you're a man or a woman who had something traumatic happen in your life? You're not ready to tell your kids, but these trolls on the internet is out here searching through your records, searching through your medical things and your things. You mean to tell me you're going to tell your family? You see, sometimes it's not about money, not about divorce, and not about, doing a little wild thing, a little fun thing. Sometimes it can be really traumatic. And what I'm saying is, this time it was new pictures, but what if they go somewhere else and they want to, tear down a child by saying, oh, your parents went through this, they've had this deep issue. What I'm saying is that in the family, you deal with your issues in the family. It's nobody's responsibility to come up in there saying, this is what your mother or your father is going through. That's not their business. Now, what I'm thinking, what you're saying, Ms. Diva, is right. I think that, but what I wish Garcelle was here, because I think she would agree with you. She said, look, Ms. Diva, you know what? I was the day after he found those pictures, I was just about to tell him. We don't know.
Yes, Lorraine.
We don't know. We don't know what day it was going to happen. But can I say this? But we do know. But what we do know is it was not going to be the time the trolls told him. So whatever time that he was going to find out this information, it was not going to be on the trolls' timeline. Let's put it that way. They went out there, they tried to mess up something. And you know what? I don't believe that woman's lying to her family. I believe that she is a good mother. And I think that she had in her mind what she was going to tell him in an appropriate time that was comfortable for her and her family. We don't know what that is. So I think that sometimes it's pictures, but sometimes it's something even deeper and darker. As we've seen.
Yes. So hold on one second. Lorraine said posing for Playboy at 40 years old, looking as beautiful as Garcelle did is empowering. Many beautiful celebrities who are posing for the Playboy at the time it comes with being part of Hollywood. So here's the thing, guys. I'm not judging the pictures. I really can't left. But I'm just saying that know this. When you sign up, so if you sign up to be on a reality TV show and you're single, then you good to go, because you know what, you're grown and you can handle what's going to come at you, right? Because you're grown. But when you sign up for reality TV and you got kids, because people are dirty, low, and grimy, and because they was determined to tear Garcelle down, when they found that they wasn't moving her by just coming at her, they went for the most vulnerable thing they could come for, because she said it, and it made perfect sense to me. You came for my kids because you figured that would break me down and that would make me quit and leave the show. Yo, those are gutter snipes on that show, okay? And so when you walk into the lion's den and then you want to get surprised that the lion bit you, then you the fool. I hate to say that. But let me just add this, Mel. You can't go in the jungle and then wonder why the lions, the tigers, and the bears are coming for you.
I agree with you. You know what I agree with?
You can't do that.
So the lesson, but I think the lesson is, it's not about you, moving up your time and how you deal with your family. The lesson may be to the family, you know what, I'm about to join this show. But guess what? There are trolls and mean people out there on the streets of the internet, and they might show you something that may be upsetting to you. I may not be ready to tell you all my life story at this moment, because this is how our family works. But you know what? If something comes up that's upsetting to you, we are going to handle it as a family. I'm never going to be pressured into doing for my children what I'm not ready to do. I'm on my own schedule in this household. No person on this cast and nobody on the internet is going to tell me what to do in my home. But if it pops up, we're going to deal with it as a family. I think that's what she did.
Exactly.
So I think that what you said is on point. But I think that what they probably did was they said, you know what, just as, us being as Black people, we probably gone to places where our family said, you know what, you're going to go here. You want to go there to that school. You want to do this. Well, this is the reality. That's what Ms. Steve was talking about, the reality. Now we're going to go there. But when the reality hits you, honey, you're not responsible for that reality. You're doing what you want to do. You're living your life. But if something comes up on you, we're going to handle it together. Okay. So I think that's what's happening. The reality of we can't control what I'm saying is we can't control nasty, mean people. But as a family, we can stick together when they strike us, and when they come up on us and do something disrespectful, we can stick together. Now, we can't tell Ms. Garcelle how to run her family. The trolls can't. They're not on the panel. The trolls are trying to control that woman's family. She has the right to do whatever she wants to do, and they deal with it together as a family.
Exactly.
So we're gonna come to the happy medium that in terms of the subject, we'll agree to disagree. I love y'all. We're gonna agree to disagree, right? So Kelly said, Diva, you think Garcelle should have expected that? I think she should have expected that and more. So when you in the beginning, when the ladies that signed up for reality TV in the very beginning, they didn't know what to expect because it was brand new. So when all of these shows came out for the first time, those ladies, when they signed up, it was brand new. If you if you sign up, you put in an application to go work at Target, you are fool if you wait to investigate what Target is like after they say you got the job, show up tomorrow for training with your red shirt and your khakis, okay? What you should do is, before you even hit that application and sign up, you should be looking on the company website. You should figure out what position you want. And when you get there, you should ask them, well, I want to be a cashier, but tell me what a cashier does and what the expectations are. And what do I have to wear? What are the hours like? So you are, excuse me, we got to be real here, right? You're a big dummy and a fool if you go sign up to work at Target and you don't start investigating until you get there. Then you're going to get what you get. Now, if you investigate and you ask some questions and afterwards some surprises came, you be like, okay, wow, I know for the next time when I go for another cashier job, I'm going to ask them these 5 other things. So all I'm saying is, by the time Garcelle signed up for reality TV, she could have binge watched 17 different reality TV shows. She could have watched every single season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and see how they came for the best of them before she arrived. They dogged LVP. Kyle dogged her own sister. So do you think me coming up there, if it was me, I'm coming to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to be a housewife. I'm dealing with a chick that did her sister dirty. I'm dealing with another chick that did her own friend dirty. I'm dealing with all these chicks who kicked off and railroaded LVP. And now I think I'm going to come sit there and they're going to do a kumbaya with me and treat me well? No, I got to be armed and dangerous. I got to come there ready, ducking, diving. I got to let my kids know, listen, I'm going here for this check. But these chicks, they grimy. You might catch a little of the heat that they're going to throw at me.
Now,
it might hit you.
I like that. I like that.
You might hit you.
That's what I like very much. So yeah.
So you got to be ready. You can't be naive as to what you're getting yourself into. When now you can simply Google. I tell my son all the time, don't act like you know, you better find out, you better hit Google. If you do anything, you want to know how to do anything from cook a piece of chicken. And a long time ago, you had to definitely call your grandmother, your auntie, how long do I leave it in the oven? What do I do? Now you can hit Google and they're going to show you a whole tutorial on how to wash that chicken, put it in the oven, when to take it out the oven, and when to do X, Y, Z. So if you want to walk around naive and stupid, it's on you.
And a side of pinto beans too.
And a
and
side
the seasoning.
of pinto beans.
You forgot the seasoning.
Also, though, I feel like we should not ever expect the kids to be targeted. We shouldn't. I feel like we should expect it, but not expect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never a tolerable time, moment, space for that. If for seasons, even if she rewatched all the things, when in history has a child been bodied? When in history has that
But
happened?
the child didn't look like her children, and
Well,
she
that's
was
what I'm
the first, and
So
she's the
had
first,
she even- had
and
she
she's the
even
first
watched-
of her kind on that show.
Right.
So
I get
so
it.
so so
Yeah.
you can't so there's a lot you got to think about, right? Let me tell you, I have worked at jobs where I was the only one that looked like me. I'm gonna tell you this true story. I worked the night shift. I'm not a night person. The night shift was 7 p to 7 a in the morning. I was asking all these people, like, how are you surviving? How are you doing this? I can't get used to it. Guess what? Every last one of them took a nap at night, and the other nurses would cover their patients while they slept, right? So some of them would sleep from 2 to maybe 4 in the morning. Some of them came there sleepy, and as soon as they gave their first rounds of med, they would go find themselves a place to sleep, and everybody would cover their patients, right? Guess who never slept? The chick right here that didn't look like none of the other chicks in the building. Okay, so every time sometimes when you go places, you can't do as they do, and you can't expect to get treated like they are treated. Now, do I think it's right? We ain't dealing with right or wrong right now. We're dealing with the facts and what is. So then there was one situation that went down, and they said something to me. And I said, let me tell y'all all something. All of y'all sleep at night so we could take this whole story over to HR, because from 7P to 7A, this chick eyes are open. I take care of my own patients and I take care of yours. And because we had to scan the patient meds in, you scan their bracelet and it goes right in the computer. And I said, and the computer is going to prove it all. Let's get it. So what I'm saying is, sometimes you can't move like they move. You got to think ahead and know that, you know what? Maybe all of their kids got treated a certain way, but maybe my kid won't. And I got to prepare my kid for life like I do anything else. But I don't want to go too off track. Let me read this. Thank you for the super chat. 2022 Black Woman of Grace Award goes to Garcelle B, yes, and Pella 8 from Big Brother 24 for not being the angry Black woman or easily being triggered because they know what it is. And DJ, thank you so much for the super chat. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I will also say this. Garcelle handled herself like a queen, and I give it to her. I definitely give it to her.
She always handles herself as a queen, but
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's do this Dorit robbery.
Oh God.
Which, you know what, I'm gonna give like short details because it was an absolute joke, right? And the biggest joke of it all was that they left this cell phone at your front door so you can call your husband because you talk to them so big and well. And listen, I'm ancient, I still have a house phone. So you could have left with my cell phone and I still would have been able to call somebody, right? Let me say this too. I don't have their type of money, but I got ADT. Guess what? I can press a button on ADT and it will call 911, the cops, and everybody else for me. I'm trying to understand how you Hollywood, how you got dollars for days, how you got all of this stuff to protect in your house, but you don't got the right mechanism to protect your house, right? So then you want to convince me that you told this robber is convinced that, you know what? She pleaded because she needed to speak to her husband. I'm going to just sit her cell phone right here. And to think that I'm not going to get my cell phone to call my husband. And here's the nonsense of it all. Maybe her kids don't, because her kids are pretty young, right? But I promise you, all of these kids darn near 8, they got a cell phone, okay? They got iPhone 14, 15, the one that's about to come out. They got better cell phone than me. There was no other cell phone in her house that she could have made this phone call, but she was so convincing that they was like, cool, we robbed you, but I'm gonna sit the phone here. I'm not even gonna toss it down. I'm not gonna throw it down. So they were some con robbers, right? So you're not even running out. You're walking out slowly, and then you kindly put the phone down to make sure it doesn't crack, it doesn't break, it doesn't anything, so that this chick, when y'all gone, she can come out and get the cell phone. You don't even tell her count to 10 or count to 100 before you come and get the cell phone that I'm going to leave there. It was shenanigans. It was BS. It was nonsense. And because Kyle always got to one-up somebody, she wanted to say this ridiculous story of how her robbers contacted the grandmother or the grandfather or the papa or the sister or the brother and said, do you want your stuff back? Because we'll sell it to you. She gave the money to get her stuff back. And then, Erika's like, well, that's a shakedown. And you let them shake you down. But now stupid Kyle is saying this on TV. And I'm like, you don't think the cops are going to contact you and say, excuse me? So he also asked Dorit, did she replace some of her stuff? She said, I don't buy stuff twice, right? So Kyle, because she heard that, this is just my opinion, right? And she knows that some of the stuff that was stolen, she has replacements for it. So now she's going to explain the replacements by telling us that the robbers sold her stuff back. This was the most ridiculous. I can't. What do y'all have to say?
I want to say something first.
Yes.
Actually, Dorit, I'm not buying this story, Dorit. I truly am not. First of all, you mean to tell me she probably has a high iPhone? You mean to tell me you could not initiate SOS on your phone, clicking the power button 5 times consecutively? couldn't do that.
How about this though too, right? You should have let them keep this the I don't have iPhone, I have Android for life. But anyway, you could have let them keep the cell phone, because I got a friend that they got a tracker on their on their iPhone. And so you should have let them keep it. And then what they did was they went to their iPad, tracked their cell phone when they lost it. Now they crazy, they gangster. I wouldn't have never did this. They went to the person's house where the tracking brought them to, run the doorbell and say, "Give me my phone." Now that was bold. I wouldn't have done it. But my point is that you can track an iPhone. I'm sure they got iPhones. That whole thing, I wish I was there. Andy needed to ask more questions. The whole thing was absolutely ridiculous. And remember, you know how I know they could track a cell phone? Because remember when they was at Kyle's house and she was talking about the robbery and PK lost his phone, she sat on the bench crying and she said, "Track the phone. I'll find the phone." Do you remember that? She told her phone to find PK's phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's the foolery and the ridiculous lies that I can't get with them. And although Andy did a good job, he could have did better, because I saw so many holes in those stories. I was sick to my stomach. Tanika, the Diva and Curves and Sebastian, thank you so much for the super chat. I truly, truly appreciate it. Yes. What do y'all think? Who was talking? I'm sorry, because that scene pissed me off.
Sebastian, I was saying, I'm not buying the story. You could have initiated SOS by pressing the power button 5 times.
I didn't know that. Do all phones do that?
No, it's something that you got to set up in iPhones. Actually, no, I think it's set up already.
Okay, I didn't know that. But go ahead. Anybody else?
It will text all your contacts that you selected that you're in an emergency. It will text them automatically after you click it 5 times.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Andy didn't ask any more questions because one, he was already tired of her answering the first question, and he know it's fake. So he was like swallowing his yawn, as he says, and she's like, "Are you bored with me?" And he's like, I just, he had no time for her. So like, why ask a follow-up question? And then, oh God, Cal, I don't know what their relationship is, Cal and Dorit's relationship, because Cal acts like Dorit is like her baby sister that she just always has to cut off or something, or always has to show up. Because like, why talk about your robbery that happened, 4 seasons ago? Like, who cares? And who calls you after they get out of prison to let you know that they got your stuff at their grandma's house? Who does that?
And now you want them to come clean grandma for harboring stolen goods? Right. I'm like, what the heck? That was just the shenanigans of it all. Killed me. But hold on one second. True and Blue, thank you for the super chat. Diva, Kyle was looking and sounding so stupid, inserting that lie in there. I flung my TV remote at the screen. I'm trying to tell you, I was done. I had a good time, but I was done. Thank you for the show. Diva, I just want to apologize for confusing your name with you and V's name. Oh, it's okay, Mama T. You know I'm not sensitive. It's fine. I'm in good company with V, right? So yeah. I'm just trying to tell you, it was the foolery. It was the foolery. Yeah. Cool. Go ahead, Curves.
Was she done?
No, I just had one comment. Erika's reaction to Cal's whole story was hilarious to me. She's like, "What? Why would you give them any money? They're criminals." I'm like, wait, what?
She said that's a shakedown.
She knew exactly the lingo.
She knows how she does it too.
She knew the lingo and everything.
Yes.
And she was dressed for the part. The shakedown.
It was a shakedown, honey. Let me tell you something about Erika, right?
Yeah.
She has redeeming qualities. Do I think that her, Rinna, and Diana were behind the box? I'm going to say 100%. Do I think that they thought the box was going to go that down low and dirty? I don't necessarily think so. But see, that's the problem when you do stuff like that. You don't know how low a person is going to go and how bad and dark a thing is going to get. And so speaking of dark, we might as well run into this whole Crystal situation. Crystal is awkward. Crystal, now see, here's the thing. just like I think with Kathy, things were really said that, we'll never truly know 100%. The way that Crystal acted, I think that, not Crystal, the way that Sutton acted when Crystal was speaking about it and trying to dance around it, I think there is a little more to the story, but I think because Crystal is now connecting with Sutton, she's willing to let it go. And she probably understands that now that she knows Sutton a little better, that what she heard out of Sutton's mouth wasn't necessarily malicious, but if someone else heard it, they probably might give Sutton the side eye if they didn't know her, because Sutton was all of a sudden so forgiving, so loving, so ready to squash it under the rug. And I don't know if you heard Erika say a little sly remark, pretty much like Crystal was punking out. Like Crystal wasn't willing to say exactly what happened. And I think Crystal was stuttering because Crystal didn't really want to come out, and this is just my opinion, and really say what it was that Sutton said, because her and Sutton let it go. That's what I got from that scene with those two. I think that they was gunning for Crystal, because Kyle kept plucking at her like a duck. She was plucking every feather off of Crystal, like, no, I heard differently. No, you need to tell me more. It made more sense to me that these friends were pretty jealous of Crystal because Crystal possibly got the slot on the show over them. That was a lot was going on there, but I think stuff was not being said that needed to be said. I had PSCD for seeing Dorit without her makeup. And Dorit, get this to Dorit though. She knows how to not necessarily that her acting skills are top notch, but she knows how to act. See, S Lover, thank you. Yes, the scene gave me cover up for something. I felt that in my bones at the core of me. I said, nah, something don't smell right here. It wasn't feeling good. So that's why I think Crystal get easily twisted up on her words. And once she's backed in the corner, she doesn't know how to pull herself out. It was messy. It was a lot. Y'all can tell me your thoughts on that scene with Crystal.
Well, I feel like Crystal doesn't really deal in what we refer to as facts. She kind of refers to things that are like more like, it's not tangible. It's like a vibe, a feeling, you know what I mean? And because of that, I feel like she comes off like a liar because it's a freaking lie. It's a freaking lie. If you're only feeling a way that somebody said something, that means they didn't say it. What did they say? What did they say? That's all we want to know. We don't want to know what you felt like they said, because I can say the sky is blue and you can feel like I said it's a great day, but that's not what I said. You know what I mean? And I love the word. So it's all about just getting right on the words with Crystal. And when she finally gets them out, if she doesn't get them out right, then she can shed a tear, on command. She does that like Demi Moore in Ghost. She can come up with a tear. And
don't do that to Crystal. Wait, hold on, Curves. Can we throw this in there? I do. Thank you, Say Less. I feel like Crystal does have performance anxiety. Yes, she does. But go ahead, Curves. Continue.
Well, maybe that's why she's crying, because maybe she's a cry talker. Maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know. But still, Crystal, she needs to get it out better and less and stop double backing, because it's all about what you felt. And that changes. But what the person said, that's going to be what they said. Like these texts up here, that's what Diana said, right? So that can't be felt any other way than a threat, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but we get to see the words that she actually said. That's what I need for Crystal. Oh, and Kyle's freaking robbery. How ironic that's the same as Sutton's miscarriage.
Oh. That part right there, I almost forgot. VGF627. I think that Crystal overthought Sutton's comment, like she overreacted to Kathy's request to hear Michael Jackson. Let me see. I don't want you to throw rocks at me. I'm gonna throw this out there, and y'all just let it fall to the ground, okay? Just let it fall to the ground. Don't address it, ignore it. But I'm gonna say this: there are some people that feel that he is problematic.
Diva.
I'm just no. I said let it hit the ground. I said let it hit the ground. Okay. There are. Listen. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying right, wrong, and different. And I love Michael Jackson, and one of my favorite songs by him is Man in the Mirror. But I'm just saying that there are some people that feel that he is problematic. And I'm moving on. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait. Let me say this. Before you move on, I was going to say I agree with you.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Now.
No. I want to say, listen, you know what, Sebastian? In some homes, people are not watching Bill Cosby. Some homes, people are not listening to R. Kelly. It's up to people's decision if they want to sort of like the artist or they want to sort of think about the reality of what they kind of went through. But I was going to say, with Crystal needed Kenya in that moment. She needed Kenya to be on that stage saying, "Girl, you're not articulate," like she told Desandra. I think that I think with Crystal, they treat her. I'm sorry to go that deep. They treat her almost in a inhumane way, I would say.
Yeah.
They treat her almost like an object. You know, are you suffering? Well, I need you to validate to me why you suffer. I need you to give us like a 10-page paragraph.
Right.
Now, mind
That's
you,
how they do Garcelle too, though.
Yes. So now, mind you, go ahead, Miss Kirk. What you gonna say?
Yeah. No, I was agreeing with you that they do that to Crystal, but they also do it to Garcelle.
Yes, they do. But I think but I know what I think, Kirk. I think with Garcelle, thank God, she is articulate and she does have the fire, so she can actually do something. She can roll her eyes. She can give reads. With Crystal, she cries, and you do feel bad for her. Although what she's done is not always. It's messy. It's a mess.
Yes, it is.
But I will say this. But I will say for me, I was just going to say, Crystal, if you want to be the messy queen, honey, you got to stand a little firmer into your power. You can't have them basically use you like a rag doll and basically shake you in either direction. Like they would hitting her around verbally. I'm saying like a pen machine.
Yes, they was. It was like you have her.
Right, and I'm saying with Erika. That was when I saw her at her meanest because you know what? She didn't forget in her mind, this girl done triggered me to have a drunk moment on camera when I'm going up telling my truth. And it was Crystal here that pulled me out there. So now she was getting her. For me, I couldn't be Crystal because I would be going off on the people. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You know, Crystal need to find her. And if she's gonna, the thing is, Crystal's been messy to everybody on the stage. I'm sorry, she's just been messy across the board.
She has.
That's just the truth. But I think that if you're going to be that way, one thing I will say about the ladies, only flower I would give the ladies, the mean girls, is that yes, they're going to hold you accountable if you're messy to them. They're going to grill you, and in some aspects, they kind of have a little meat on the bone to say, yeah, you were pretty messy here, just like people say about other people. So I don't think Crystal is tough enough to play that game.
She's not built for this. She's not built for this. Yes, of course.
And Diva, I've changed my avatar, so maybe you can see Kathy doing a conga line on my avatar here. she's in the BravoCon and she dancing with Teresa and all of them. I changed it so you can see it right there.
Ooh, that's messy. I hope it's to Michael Jackson like he wanted. But Emmanuel, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that you're right. Like as a young person who like interacts with people my age, that is the case for a lot of people. It is problematic. But that's beside the point. I don't know why, but Kyle has it out for Crystal.
She does.
Yes.
And I don't know why.
Yeah. She does.
But
maybe because Crystal is young.
Because of Teddy.
Oh, because of Teddy.
Teddy like Teddy, that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Teddy, did you guys hear she has melanoma? Teddy has melanoma.
Teddy does?
Yeah, stage 2 melanoma, I heard. It was all over Twitter. Yeah, I feel so sorry for her, even though I never liked her. I do
feel sorry for her. Listen, just because we don't like you, we don't want nothing to happen to you. So yeah, I do feel bad for, but hold on one second, guys. Black Swan, thank you for the super chat. Sutton Eyes was looking pleading to me as to request Crystal not to say anything other than what she said. Black Swan, thank you for the connection. I'm trying to tell you. See Sutton, when she's mad and when she knows her point is about to be proven, she's a get in your face type of girl. She's the one that will drill things home. And for whatever reason, she jumped right in and said, listen, me and Crystal made up, let it go. Because she doesn't want Crystal to be able to verbalize exactly what happened. And I'm going to give Crystal the respect for this. Sutton more is with that whole Sutton and Crystal thing, but I'm going to give it up to Crystal because she's not saying what it is, because y'all got to go back and hear Erika pretty much told Crystal that she's punking out.
Yeah,
she's
but you know,
she said that at the
Erika said
reunion?
it on the couch.
Oh.
Yeah, she made
Erika,
it.
Thank you. Who said yes she did? Who said that?
Me. Yeah, Erika did tell her come like, oh, it's not. Like, she said something to the side like that once Crystal and Sutton weren't going at it.
Yes, she did.
When I was watching it, I was so confused. I was like, Sutton, why isn't she standing up for herself? You know, right now that Crystal insinuated that she said something that could have, you know, it could have hurt her. So my first reaction was like, why isn't Sutton speaking up for herself and, you know, defending herself? I thought that was very, very weird.
Right. So Tony, this is why I wanted to throw it out there and just let it hit the ground and act like I never threw it out there.
I can't even look down.
I don't look down. Don't look down because it's such a difficult subject. We can have a trending topic one day, but I'm going to say this. Just like Jeffrey Dahmer, just like, unfortunately, Bill Cosby, sometimes people wait. Hold on one second, Sebastian. Sometimes people know things are going on, and because you are of a particular status, they turn a blind eye to it, and turning a blind eye causes more people to be a victim to what it is they're doing. Just like Jeffrey, what is his name, Epstein. The list can go on and on. What a lot of these people were doing was known for years by tons of people, and it was ignored. And as a result of it being ignored, there are some very hurt and broken people out in the world. And so I tossed it out there. It was reckless. I shouldn't have done that, but you know, sometimes I got to be reckless. I tossed it out there and threw it on the floor only to open a conversation of that. What Crystal said was not like a lot of people do not connect to it. But what people will do is they call it group speak, right? Like people, if they're in a group, they will agree with the majority sometimes, just so that they won't have to be, even if they don't believe that, but just so they won't have to get beat down, you know, for their true opinion. But there's a lot of people that wanted to cancel him, Michael Jackson, MJ. There's a lot of people that didn't want his music to be played in certain places anymore. There is a lot, and that's just being truthful, right? And listen, like I said, love Michael Jackson, but I'm just saying that there are some people that feel that way, and Crystal happened to be one of them that said it out loud. She probably thought that the cast was going to back her up, but they did not. So, all right.
I'm tired of Crystal. Crystal needs to go worry about herself and get the help that she needs, because I'm tired of her. Because I don't know. I may get dragged in the chat, but you know, when you have an eating disorder, you're not eating enough nutrients, and you're very malnourished. And I do believe that the lack of nutrients is causing her to not be articulate enough, not have enough knowledge in that brain to form words that make sense. And I'm tired of her, and she desperately needs to go visit an IV center to get some of those nutrients.
I'm saying, listen, wait, Sebastian. So here's the thing, right? Knowing that she has an eating disorder, it gave me a little more connection as to why she was so triggered when Sutton came in the room and she wasn't dressed to give her the jacket, right? Because if you got body issues and now you have someone seeing you naked and you already think yourself that you're not good enough, you might feel some type of way that someone walked in the room and saw you. What I didn't like, though, is what gave me the thought process in a different direction, which I would have never thought, is Andy alluded to the fact that Crystal was in there doing something, like releasing her food in a negative way. I'll say that. And that is why she was so triggered when Sutton came in the room, because alluding that Sutton might have seen her doing something as such. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so, and then when he turned, and Crystal said no, and then when he turned to Sutton, Sutton said no also, that's not, she didn't see anything. But again, those exchange between those two, you got to go back and see the body language. The body language wasn't matching what was coming out of their mouth. And why would Andy randomly say that to them out of nowhere? I was like, what's going on here? Go ahead, Curbs.
Yeah,
Can we just say that the same way that Garcelle should have expected them to come up with some stuff about anything, baby Crystal should have expected that if you're on a girls' trip in a house full of women and you don't lock the door, then somebody can walk in.
Yeah. I just have a comment about Crystal. I'm on the fence about her, right? I don't know how I really feel about her. Like what Kurt said earlier, like a therapist, when you first see a therapist, the first thing they'll tell you is that feelings are not fact, right? So just because you feel a way doesn't make it a fact. And everything she talked about it was a tone, it was a way she said it, was this, it was that. But what did she say that was so offensive and so dark? And so they pulled up that pool comment. So if the pool comment was the comment that was dark, I don't think it holds no weight. Nothing she said on that pool was dark, right? Maybe it was a little a moment where she wanted to have a conversation with Crystal and talk about some kind of integrating her pool or something like that. But it wasn't a dark thing where you would be like, oh my God, this person is the worst person in the world. Also, I think when she walked, if it was just a clip that they showed of Sutton walking in the room, Sutton peeped through the door. She didn't go fully in the room. She dropped her clothes, said, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm just going to give you your coat. And
but
she
see, hold on, Miss True Kelly. Hold on, Miss True Kelly.
About her body.
Right.
That would have been offensive.
But hold on, Miss True Kelly. She opened the door and said, I don't know what's going on in here. And if I go in the room, listen, I just was in the wedding this past weekend. We all got dressed in the same room. I mean, everything was out on everybody. It was what it was. You understand what I mean? But there are some people that wouldn't have been comfortable dressing in the room with ladies like that and just being their whole body being exposed, right? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't care and everybody else in the room with me didn't care. We was all just getting dressed, ladies getting dressed for this wedding. But there are some people that would have had to go in the bathroom and be by themselves to get dressed. So my thing is, we got to dig into the words that were said. If you go in the room and someone is not dressed and you're just dropping on the jacket, you be like, oh my God, oops, girl, I'm sorry. I didn't know you just got out the shower and you ain't got no clothes on. I'm turning my back. Oh, good. What she said was, I don't know what's going on in here.
Because she didn't. But I feel like what words mean things. We're just going to say that. She should have said, she could have said, I was embarrassed that you came in and walked in on me, right? But I was violated. Were you violated? I'm not going to police her.
Okay, so I'm connecting
about it.
Right. I'm connecting with what you're saying, right, True Kelly? But here's the thing. If everybody, the experience, the way we show up is based upon all the experience that we've had personally, right? So if in my home, like right now, and my son is 17, and I have to tell him all the time when he get out the shower, put your clothes on. Don't be coming in here and you know everything's just loose and swinging, because he'll talk to me with no clothes on and have a whole full conversation and don't get to things about it. Right? Do you see what I mean? But I have raised him to be body positive, and because I don't care, he doesn't care. But there are some families that literally They will not come out their bedroom, the mom or whatever, without having what they consider to have proper clothes on. So all I'm saying is the way we show up, it's accumulation of all of our experiences. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So Crystal experience with her body is not healthy as is. So you're dealing with that with Crystal. So Crystal, when she looks in the mirror herself, even though Crystal, to me, her body is amazing. Crystal looks good in everything she puts on. But the problem is, that's not how Crystal sees herself. So we all choose our vocabulary words and how we use our words the way we know how to use them. In her mind, it's a violation. Just because we don't like the words that she used, it's true to her, and that's what she's trying to say. So another thing, and I'll just throw this out in the hospital, they say pain is not what you think it is, it's what the person says it is. So if I walk in the room and you laying in the bed and you playing on your phone, and then I ask you about your pain, and you say, I say from 1 to 10, what's your pain? You say a 10, and I'm like, she a 10, but she playing on her phone? That ain't none of my business. You a 10, then you a 10, right? So all I'm saying is, just because we don't like the words Crystal utilized doesn't mean that we can't validate them. And we want to change her words, but then y'all don't change your words, right? So another thing, Kyle kept telling Sutton, oh, so you had a miscarriage, really, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. But now she want to jump in and talk about her robbery while Dorit is talking. But she told Sutton that she needed to shut up when Diana was telling about her trauma and her brother. Why you always jumping in? But yet you jumped in when Dorit was talking about her robbery. She was being a hypocrite, right? So all I'm saying is they don't validate Crystal feelings. They don't validate Garcelle feelings. So the truth is the truth, regardless of Crystal using a wrong word or not. They still don't validate either of those girls' feelings. The only feelings that get validated on this cast are the ones that are truly part of a knit group. And that is Erika, that is Rinna, that is Dorit, and that is Kyle. They allow Rinna to act a fool because Lois passed. But everybody else, they're going to pull to the carpet. Oh, why are you feeling that way? Even when Rinna sat there and wanted to tell Garcelle, oh, you seem so angry. Because I said 2 words to you. But Rinna, you wasn't angry when you was yelling at the foundation at Sutton?
Yeah, but you know
Erika wasn't. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
You made a really good point, because so now I hope that they watch this. So I think that Crystal, I think that Garcelle, and I think that Sutton need to realize, if these 4 ladies are going to group up and say, validate your feelings. First of all, you got to step back and go, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I'm not validating a damn thing to you. So if I say something and it may not be correct, that's my business. Don't sit around, because trust me, none of y'all sitting up here say anything always on point. I mean, you have Erika hitting on underage children or whatever. You have all that stuff happening. None of you all are correct. But when you do, I was drunk, I was hurting, I was this. But when it comes to Garcelle, Sutton, or whoever, now Sutton could be crying near a panic attack. Crystal could be having post-traumatic stress syndrome because of her body issues. Garcelle could be feeling microaggression, serious issues. I just laid those 2 ladies, but with them, they got to be perfect on point. But these ladies could be sitting around, living a life or whatever, dealing with soft issues, and they be having all these issues. My sister don't like me. Girl, you've been that way for 100 years with Miss Cavity. You're always having the same issues. Stop it. So I think that's a good point. And they can never. Listen, I'm sorry, but if Garcelle, Crystal, and Sutton go back and they get step 2 again, validate your feelings before the covenant, honey. Before the covenant of these 4 people, you're going to validate your feelings. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to even pay you no mind. I'm going to look the other way and act like you're not even talking to me.
Pay them dust.
Diva.
Right. Yes.
Just real quick, I searched up the comment that Erika did. What she said, what a cop out. That's what she said.
Yeah. See, thank you, Emmanuel. That's why I'm telling you. You know what? So what I do is, when to recap these shows, and that doesn't mean I catch everything, right? I first watch it just so I can have my fun watching it. Then I watched it again so I could write down my notes for the recap. And I was like, you know what? They're still hiding a lot. They're hiding a lot. And I think that is why Crystal was stuttering, uttering, and mothering over her words, because she already came to the conclusion, her and Sutton, before the show, that she wasn't going to address those dark comments. And so how could she dance around it? Because those ladies were plucking at her like a duck. They kept plucking. Kyle was on her neck.
Yes, he was.
So why
was on her neck. Yes.
So why didn't Crystal tell Garcelle?
Well, because she know that her and Sutton are really close, and why get Garcelle in it? And let me tell you, so Garcelle has realized this, Crystal does now. Misty Green, thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. So what I think happened is, and this can happen, right? So the unfortunate thing with these reality shows is they got to live these things about 3 times, right? They live it when they're going through it. Then they live it when they have to rewatch it once it's edited and we're all seeing it in real time. Then they are, by contract, they have to tweet and say stuff about it. And you ever in real life had something happen to you, you know, maybe something happened between me and Curves, and then now we apologize to each other and we're good. But then now somebody comes later and say, you know what, but yeah, she apologized to you, but did she tell you that she said this, that, and the other? And now you're mad all over again because you found out additional information about the situation. And so you're pissed again, even though the person already apologized. So what happens is, I think these ladies, it happens to them, right? In real time, and it's being taped. Then when they see it and they see that the person is getting slick and gangster in the confessional, even though the person may have apologized to them, they be like, hold on, you apologized, but I didn't know you said all that in the confessional. So they're pissed all over again. And then if that's not enough, they get re-traumatized at the reunion because they're forced to address it yet again one more time. If that's not PS, post-traumatic stress, what could it be? So you got to be built for reality TV. You really got to be built for it. And the thing is, I don't know, to me, a lot of these ladies, and not to say that it would be caught, but a lot of these ladies, they need to go through psychiatric counseling before they give them the contract and say you're good to go. They do. Because Crystal is not built for this. Because if I was Crystal, I would have said, look, Andy and everybody else on this stage, me and Sutton are good. Maybe I messed up by saying dark comments, but whatever, get over it and let's move on. That's the type of attitude you got to have at the reunion, especially if you know you don't want to address something, you want to cut it off at the knees. That's just my thought process on it. But anybody else, let me tell you this. I will give it to Andy. He did tell Diana, you know, you look good for a sick person. He made her address the Philly Diva thing, even though she danced around it. And she swore that she's in no picture with Jeffrey Epstein. She was a refugee at the time. She's so full of crap. I can't take her. I can't take her. I can't deal with her. Yes. Okay, come on, Obi. She should have just owned it. That's what she should have did. In the eyes of Lisa Rinna, she should have just owned it. But Crystal, you know, Crystal just can't, because Crystal also, I think there's a little jealousy because Crystal is really young and Crystal is cute. Let's be clear, okay? Crystal is cute. She looked cute in her clothes. And at the end of the day, because her husband got the Lion King money, Crystal don't really got to do much, want for much or whatever. And Crystal could literally show up cute whatever the scene is. Crystal could show up cute and ready. And she don't got to worry about where them kids are going to be because they got all the help that they need. Yes, she's 39. And all of them are what? They in their 50s, maybe close to 60. You said 70. And they jealous. They got a little jealousy because when it was close-ups, and I'm not being fresh, when it was close-ups, the face that looked the best was Crystal's. The rest of them, it was like that makeup was caked on, painted on. It didn't look good on my 3D TV. It didn't look good. It was not looking good. It was looking a little bit messy. So we're going to close out, guys. Let me tell you this. The reunion part 1, it gave me everything. It was worth watching.
Yes.
We've been getting some boring reunions.
Atlanta.
Mims, don't do that, Mims. And Mims, I gotta talk to you, Mims. Mims, if you could come backstage for 2.2 seconds, just so I can talk to you. Yeah, at least you said Kyle's hands are 80, right? Yeah, they look rough. It was not a good look, but I'm not on Twitter. Somebody needs to tweet Andy. I don't know why they the only group that doesn't have a coordinated look. It's throwing me off. I'm hating it. I don't like it. They should have all wore black or cream or green or whatever. I didn't like it. I didn't like the mismatch of it all. It just wasn't cute. And to me, again, I'm gonna say Dorit hands down. She definitely was definitely one of the best. Man, you Kanye, the narc.
Hey everybody.
Hey. So guys, we're gonna close this thing out. I had a really good time with y'all. I will definitely be watching the other two parts. I can't wait that Kathy gets there. I mean, Kathy, for what to be a friend of, she's given the business.
Yes.
But Emmanuel, what is your closing words?
So I really enjoyed the first part as well. Like, I feel like in one part we got more than we got in 3 parts of Atlanta.
Yes.
So I don't think they're gonna waste our hours watching this. So it's good, and I can't wait also for Kathy Hilton, because that's where it's gonna go down.
That's where it's gonna go down. And for sure, that set should have been Aspen. Y'all need to tweet Andy and tell him that. Like, I'm not on Twitter. But I know I'm gonna have to get on there. But y'all need to tweet Andy and tell him that that set should have been Aspen, because somebody said it earlier. That's where everything went down. And 2, they need to be color coordinated next season. I can't. And 3, is Cherie going to make a remote appearance?
No, we don't want her. You did cover what she did, right? You covered what happened with Cherie.
No.
The fact that Diana in that text message exposed that Garcelle had to tell Cherie to take her happy birthday message down to Diana tells me everything that I need to know about Cherie. She's a pick-me. If you know that this woman is beefing and threatening your actual friend and you gonna wish her a happy birthday, that is so jacked up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you look at the text message that Diana sent, the end of it says, "And you made Cherie take my happy birthday message down just so people would think I was racist."
I missed that piece.
I saw the part about Cherie, but I didn't understand what she had to do with it.
I covered it when she did it. I thought it was really jacked up that you would wish your friend's enemy a happy birthday. Like, I'm just not built like that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not either. And especially because, Obi, thank you for becoming a member. I truly appreciate it. Especially because you knew that Garcelle was being threatened. I love the way Garcelle said, I ain't speaking. I ain't got nothing else to say to her.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the way Garcelle did this reunion. I loved it. She was done with Diana. She said, because that was her way of saying, this chick is stupid. She's lying. She's gaslighting me. And I ain't got nothing for her but dust. I loved it. It was a messy, but I did not know that. Thank you, Mims. I got to get on Twitter. I'm going to get on Twitter. Just so I could tweet at Andy and tell him to get his whole situation together. Miss Truth Kelly, what are your final words? Are you still there? Might be gone. Okay, Curves, what are your final words?
I just want to say the first part was awesome. And Garcelle is the queen. She is the queen.
She is.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City also doesn't match on their reunion. Last year, one had on feathers purple, one had on
green. You're right.
Yes, I don't know how they decide. I don't know why I'm freezing. I look like I'm freezing to me. But
you're not.
Oh, good. I don't know why they make the black cast seem to dress the same. But Real Housewives, did Dallas dress the same too? I don't know, but maybe it's the black girls that just like coordinating. Maybe they call each other and like, hey, we're wearing this color. But from what Nene said, The producers tell them what color to wear. So you right. Why they out of uniform?
Yeah.
Okay. And just besides it being good, besides the lunch that Garcelle ate, which was Diana, besides all that, can we just start a movement like right here, right now on October 13th, 2022 at 7:05 p.m. California time to denormalize using black and dark as terms to portray a negative inference or comment.
You know what? I didn't even
Because
catch
it
that.
happened
You're
to
right.
also be the color that they assigned me when they decided to hand out races. All of a sudden, I'm a color. So can you stop using my color as a weapon against other people? And yeah, let's start a movement. Call it what it is. That was ratchet. That was wrong. That was something. Use your words, okay? But dark and black should no longer be used to convey something that's bad or negative starting this day forward, henceforth to forthwith.
You know what? Hashtag I agree with you.
You
You
were
know
so
what?
dramatic.
I didn't even catch that, but you are right. You are right. That is messy boots. Wow. Okay. I learned something. Mims, I know you came late. Anything you want to say as we close out?
No, I'm just mad that they were allowed to jump Crystal. Like
Jumper.
they sat there, they parroted each other. Every time one said anything to her, the other two to three said something. And
Yeah.
then the fact that Andy allowed Erika to literally poke at, make fun of somebody's eating disorder and suggest an alternative method to binging and purging, and
That
he
was
didn't
bad.
make her apologize.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even get into that deep. They did Crystal dirty, and the thing is that eating disorder is such a sensitive topic, and it really is real because I don't know how true it is, but I do believe it. But that is the reason why they're claiming that allegedly why Brandy is in the hospital.
Yeah.
Brandy, the R&B singer, from an eating disorder. And again, catch the message that she said. She said, I'm going to follow doctor's orders. And I'm kind of paraphrasing a bit. She said, because I was dehydrated and low nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So,
She did lose a lot of weight recently.
yeah, but she has allegedly struggled with the situation, most of her life. And I caught it in her little message that she said that I was like, I am connecting with the rumors that this is the reason why, she was in the hospital, because you can do that thing so bad that you will end up having an irregular heartbeat. You can fall into a seizure. It's just
We'll
a
blame
thing
the
that they
public.
had the opportunity to do a bigger teaching moment with that. But again, because they don't give two craps about Crystal, they were not willing to go there. And again, because they don't give two craps about Garcelle, they pretty much brushed over her whole situation and how Diana was threatening her. If it was the reverse, if Garcelle was threatening Diana, we would still be watching the reunion. The first
Or
part would have been 5 hours. Go ahead.
Or we would have had a word from Andy that said, unfortunately, Garcelle couldn't be here this evening because it's been revealed that she's been sending threatening texts to another cast member.
Hello.
You're right.
Hello. Yeah. So it was very sad. Only thing I know is black or dark was used to describe negative year ago. Expect in the stock market. So you're trying to say this kind of use universal.
Yeah,
Those,
universally they need to stop it because there's black people everywhere and dark skinned people everywhere.
yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah,
And
this is
I'll even okay, I'll throw this in there. I'll even stop calling them white lies. Okay. I'll just call it a lie. Okay.
yeah, because it's a lot of, I guess, you know what, across the board, there's a lot of language that needs to be changed. I do agree with you, but wow, I have to pay more attention. I didn't even notice that. But listen, guys, I have fun. It was definitely a good reunion. I can't wait to see next week's. Okay. So we'll be here. And again, I've been in touch with getting connections with that the guy Isaac Wright. It's going to be a really amazing, great interview. So, and his story, he is definitely the one that had this story on, it was ABC, and I want to say the series was called For Life. And I want to say they did 3 seasons before it got canceled. So I got to read the book, get more information. And his name is Isaac Wright, Chris. Probably going to come through. I met him over the weekend at the wedding I was at. Really, really nice guy. And I want to say Sebastian told me, and I did look it up, and it's true, that last year he ran for mayor of New York City. He didn't win, but he did run. Yeah. And so he became a lawyer in jail. It took him 7 years to reverse his own case. But when he was initially convicted, he was convicted for life. So, yeah. So he'll be coming through. We'll have him on our Saturday, book club thing one day. So listen, guys, thank you guys for coming through. Love y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Hold on, Mims.